How's it going, my friends? Back with another video today. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody had a great holiday yesterday. I know we did. Sarah and I just had my mother over to the house and just cooking some food and everything, and it was nice to really relax. First year in a while we haven't done a lot of, traveling back and forth to other family members' places, and we just hosted it here, so it was nice. Today I'm going to do a video on cleaning your Nikon Z6. A lot of people have been asking me, my process and how I do this, and I think it's really important that I show you my process. I do a couple different things that I don't know if anybody's seen before, but I do this all the time, guys, okay? I do baby my gear in terms of how I clean it. I make sure that I'm cleaning it constantly, especially after every job, but even if it's just been sitting in on my racks or on my desk for a little while. My office is in a basement area, so I just make sure that I clean it constantly. This stuff can collect dust, and as you guys know, any tech guys out there, dust is like an electronics worst enemy. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning it pretty much all the time. Yeah, hopefully this is helpful to you guys, and drop it in the comments if you guys have any extra things that you do. One thing that I am going to mention here is that from the research that I've done on the Z6 and the Z7, when you power off the camera, the IBIS is locked, so you don't really have to worry about I know on the Sonys and a few different other cameras you have to actually physically go into a menu, lock down the IBIS. With the Z6 and the Z7, from what I've read, you do not. So just make sure, obviously don't smash down the the cleaning stick or anything like that, the sensor swab. Just make sure that you're doing it with a little bit of pressure, but not too much. Just use your common sense about it, guys. Don't be an idiot, basically. So hopefully this helps you guys, and I'm gonna flip over and show you guys how I get into it. Okay, guys, so the first thing we want to do is kind of just do like a general pass over to get all the dust off the camera. I don't immediately jump in and just start cleaning the sensor. What I do first is I put a cap on it, take the lens off, and then I kind of have more access to everything around here. So what I start off with is this trusty blower right here, and I just kind of go all over at first, get the big stuff off. Stuff that's going to be removed pretty easily. Don't go too deep into the cracks right now, but just do a general dusting. And then what I do first is take off this little piece. I did a separate video on this and why it's really, really important to clean the back of this proximity sensor here. If you guys have, I'll put the link in the video so you guys can see why it's important to take this off and clean it. But this is what I always do in the beginning. So take this thing off, and then I just kind of give it a rub down, just make sure that there's no big things on it. Blast it with some air right here, and then take my brush, get all this stuff off. This is really super important, guys. So that thing's clean. So this is all open now, which is great, and then I just take my brush here, clean it all off, get all that, blow it off again, and then take my microfiber cloth and then just kind of clean out that little TV screen right there, that EVF, and then just wipe it down. So that's all clean. I clean in the inside of my hot shoe. On the outside, I take this microfiber cloth and I just clean everything on the outside of this. I mean, I really just wipe it down. This is awesome to get rid of fingerprints and all that. Flip out the screen, push this back, get all the dust out in there. I mean, this is super important, guys. You really, really have to clean after every job. And not only just after every job, I mean, if your cameras have been sitting around for a while on the, your table or in the basement or wherever you guys keep them, just make sure that you're cleaning this stuff, because I'm telling you, it can get really, really, really dusty. And the dust is like an electronics absolute nemesis, enemy. Okay, so get all that. I like to do this. And then use the brush, get all the dust out of there. Just get it all out of the cracks and crevices, okay? It's pretty good. The top screen, get all the fingerprints off there, get all the buttons. Just wipe it all down, guys, you know what I'm saying? Wipe everything down. Okay, so that's pretty good right there. Then what I like to do, this little beast right here, you guys have seen these in my videos. I always have toothpicks, okay? What I like to do is just kind of go in the cracks here, in the crevices, and just run it along. Don't use a you know, obviously anything metal or anything like that. I use the toothpick's perfect because it's wood and it's not going to scratch. It's soft, but it gets right in the cracks and the crevices of that stuff. See, it's nasty. Just go right around all the outside, right between the buttons, not too far in between the buttons, but just right around so it gets all the stuff out of the cracks. I find this is super important, guys, because, you know, these are the areas that your brush isn't really going to remove this stuff, and you know, it can kind of creep in and set into the you know, the dials and all that stuff. It definitely increases the lifespan of the camera to you know, clean it like this. Very important. Right here, guys, got all this. Yep. Get all that out of there, all that nastiness. And then just kind of look. I find under here, under the mode dial, it just, there's, yeah, see? Nasty stuff gets under there. There we go. Okay. I pretty much just do the top with the toothpick. All these, this is the areas where I find that the gunk and the crap kind of settles in, especially around this mode dial here, guys. So, I don't know. This is a good tip. And also around the hot shoe. There's always crap up there. But yeah. Okay, so there's that. So that's basically the dust off everything. You wipe it, take the microfiber, get all the dust off, open the screen, make sure, it's really important that you get all this stuff around here. Just, that should be clean all the time, in my opinion. You do not want dust to start migrating in. And then, obviously, this thing. I mean, I can't even express how important it is to take this eyepiece off. It just pops right off, guys, and to clean under that like all the time. So then what I do is I pop this off and then expose my sensor. So I don't know if you guys can see, but there is some dust in there. Yeah, I mean, this is just a bare sensor, guys, and it's so close to the throat opening that, you know, it's going to get dust on it. It really is. And you got to make sure that you're cleaning this out constantly. I don't switch lenses a lot, but still, I mean, I get dust in there. So I'm constantly cleaning this and blowing it out. So first thing you want to do is when you have the open mount here, you just want to take your finger and just rub it along. See that? I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's dirt all in this. And no matter what you do, I have found over the years that this thing stays kind of greasy and dirty, and grime just kind of collects right there. So just run your finger over and get all that grease off till it doesn't come out black anymore. There. And then what I do is I take that toothpick again and I go all around the edge. Just kind of get it out. There we go. Yeah. And then rub my finger one more time. This is super important, guys. So, once that's done, then you want to take it, your air, make sure obviously the camera's upside down, and just blast it out. Don't put the tip through the throat opening, just put it right to it, but don't put it inside the camera, and then just blast it out. Okay. A lot of times that'll take care of all the dust. So that pretty much got it all off of the camera sensor. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing else on there right now. But I'm going to just show you how I clean it just because you guys have been asking. But yeah, that will do most of it. So I always, and before you guys let it accumulate, literally all the time, just take off your lens, expose the sensor, and then just blast it with air so it doesn't accumulate in there. But you're going to have, over the years shooting, there's going to be stuff that collects on the sensor. And guys, don't be worried about cleaning this. It's not like people make the sensor cleaning out to be like this huge risk, and it's like super delicate. It's, you know, you just have to not be an idiot about it. Just think, you know, use some common sense. Don't be an idiot. Be prepared and technical about it, and don't, you know, just rush into it without knowing what you're doing. But I'm going to show you right now, it's really not that difficult. There's really no sense in, you know, spending $100 or whatever Nikon charges to have them clean the sensor. You know, you can just do it yourself, and it's pretty easy. So what I just have a simple kit from Altura for cleaning. You know, I just got it off Amazon. There's like 30 bucks, and they come with a bunch of swabs and a bunch of stuff. I just order a new one of these every few months as mine get dirty. But basically you have a sensor cleaning swab and you have some solution. I do use the solution, but I only use just a very little amount, especially because I keep my sensors mostly clean. The dust gets on there, but I'm always blowing it out so it doesn't ever really get caked on there. But, you know, so I only have to use a little bit. So basically what you're going to do, blow it off first, guys. Make sure that's done. You know, rub around the mount. Make sure all the grime's off. Everything's clean first off. And then take your sensor cleaner out here. You got the swabs, okay? So what you want to do is just kind of wet one side just a little bit. I'm going to go off camera here just to spray. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, right here. So basically just one little spray. One little spray right there. Just very easy on one side, okay? And I kind of shake it off for a second. Make sure it's not too wet. Yeah, it's just got to be a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it, and then you're going to flip to the wet side, and then you go to one side right here. Just put it down. One side. Don't put too much pressure, but enough till you're going to get everything. Right? Take the same wet side and then go to the other. Boom. Like that. And then like to flip it around to go to the dry side. Boom. Slide it like that. And then go one more time. Like that. Make sure there's no streaks, which there isn't. And boom, you got it, guys. That's how simple it is. It's really, really not difficult. Okay, whenever you put caps back, I always like to blast these with some air too, just to make sure, you know, there's no big chunks on it. Boom. And that's easy. Simple, guys, okay? That's really not that difficult. I mean, don't be scared to clean your sensor. Just don't be. It's not that big of an issue. IBIS, from all the stuff I've read, the Z6 and Z7, when you turn it off, it's going to lock down the sensor. So you don't have to worry about damaging the IBIS as long as you're not pressing too hard. Don't go crazy and smash it down there, but just, you know, put a little pressure, drag it across the other side, flip it over, drag it across, you're done. Okay, just make sure you blast it off with the air first. You wipe down the mount with your finger, get all that grime off, and then you're good. And that's how I clean it every single time I come back from a job, guys. Okay, those are my tips. I mean, just make sure that you take off this eyepiece. Make sure you have a good toothpick to get in between the crevices, and make sure you're just a little bit careful when you're cleaning the sensor. And you guys should be all set, my friends. Hopefully this was helpful. And if you guys have any other tips or anything like that, drop it in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful. Obviously, the interaction in the comments helps the videos, guys. So anything that I can do to help, you know, increasing the message and getting closer to my viewers and, you know, helping out, I'd love to do that. So until the next video, guys.